All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live. We are live. This is June, and today, T-shirt Tuesday. We missed out on T-shirt Tuesday. I got to do a better job, but yesterday was a busy day. But today, I want to talk about a couple of things. I got this fire extinguisher here, and I'm gonna be talking about the fire extinguisher. And I'm pretty sure you're like, what is the fire extinguisher all about? But I want to talk about faith, not fear. And I got a book here and a T-shirt that says "Faith, Not Fear." That is the book is also "Faith, Not Fear" as well. And this is from Mr. Daniel Lee, a good friend of mine, and he is one of the owners of Affirm Me Apparel, and they are the sponsors of today's stream, affirmmeapparel.com. But I got this book and the T-shirt, Faith, Not Fear. And I went down to Pensacola this week or last week and took some time to read the book and actually just kind of contemplate on some of the things that he was talking about in his book. And what we have to be mindful of is to not allow fear to stop us from living a fulfilling life. Fear happens in all of us. It is an emotion that happens in all of us, but we have to push past it. One of the things that I like to say in the acronym, and you've probably heard this, is that fear stands for false evidence appearing real. Sometimes we can be afraid of things that are not even there, that don't even exist. Many of us are fearful of being different. Many of us are fearful of standing out from the crowd and being an outsider. But that's the purpose that God has given us. If you're walking in your purpose, sometimes you are an outsider. I'm going to talk about that, with this fire extinguisher here in a minute. But we can't allow being an outsider or being by ourselves to allow fear to overtake us. And don't quit when it gets tough. Just push through, right? Don't run away when you make a mistake or you fail. Push through it. Don't allow fear to make you go into a hole. Stop thinking about what happened in the past and continue to move forward. There's a good scripture. Everybody knows it. Psalms 23:4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff comfort me. And so what we have to understand is that God is constantly with us. So there is no reason for us to fear. There will be challenges, there will be trouble, but there is no reason for you to fear. And so today I want to talk a little bit about, how this relates to this fire extinguisher that I have. And a couple of weeks ago, I did a training on run your household like a business. Run your household like a business. I think what happens to a lot of people is they run business like a business. They work on their jobs like it's a business, but when they get home, they treat it totally different. In life, we have to treat everything like a business. And really, it's not like a business, but we're treating everything in proper perspective and proper order. Even the church has business if it's a business. And so not necessarily running your household or the church like a business. It's just really doing business the way that you're supposed to do things, doing things the way you're supposed to do things. And so in my training, I talked about running your household like a business. One of the things I talked about protecting your household. So in my household, we have these fire extinguishers. I bought these fire extinguishers. They're not big, bulky fire extinguishers, but we've got fire extinguishers, and I've got 4 of these in the house. I've got one in the kitchen, one down in the basement, and I've got 2 upstairs, one up in the laundry room and the other one in a bedroom. I also have these ladders that cling to the window for all the upstairs bedrooms. So if the house caught on fire, you wouldn't have to come downstairs to ground level to get out of the house. You could actually open up the window, put this ladder over the window, and climb down. Now, when I did all of these things and I purchased these things, my family kind of smiled and snickered and kind of laughed, because their mindset was, well, this is what you do in business. I mean, you know, we run drills at school and we know where the fire extinguishers are at school. We know where the fire extinguisher is on our jobs. But why do we need to do that at home? Well, let me ask you a question. When's the last time you heard of somebody burning up in school? When's the last time you heard somebody catching on fire and dying in a fire on the job? Most of the cases where we hear that people have died because of a fire is in the home. So wouldn't it make sense for us to run our household like a business? Nobody says anything when the fire drill starts on your job and everybody has to stop work and they have to go out into the parking lot and they got to do that thing. Nobody says anything about that. It's normal. It's standard, so that everyone knows how to get out. Everyone has practiced getting out of the building. Everyone knows where the fire extinguishers are. They're visible in all of the places. You know where to go look for a fire extinguisher on your job. But when it comes to our household, we don't have any of these things. 90% of the people that's probably watching me don't have a fire extinguisher at home. And if you live in an apartment or you live in a home where you've got 2-story or 3 stories, how do you get out if you can't get down to the main floor? No one thinks about that. But it's all about running your business and running your household like a business. A man told me one time, he says, prepare for war in the time of peace. Prepare for war in the time of peace. And what I want to say is prepare for disaster in the time of well-being. Now, my family laughs at this. They think it's funny. And I run drills here in the house from time to time. And we talk about what to do if certain things should happen. And I pray that I wasted my money on this fire extinguisher. I pray that I wasted my money on this fire extinguisher. But I'd rather be snickered at and have this than be crying because someone in my family could have gotten out of the home if I had just done my job. If I had been a man of the household and done the things that I needed to do to prepare my family in the case of an emergency. This is just one example of running your household like a business. You got to run your finances like a business. We talked about having a file cabinet in your home. There's lots of people that don't have file cabinets in their home and they don't file their bills away. They don't file their paperwork away properly. You've got to run your household like a business. There are so many things that I can just tell you, but I want to just kind of talk about the fire extinguisher. You know, I spent 10 years in the United States Navy. And when I was in the Navy, I was on board nuclear-powered submarines. And do you know what the most dangerous thing is on a submarine? A fire. That's the most dangerous thing that you could ever experience on a submarine is a fire. We ran fire drills so much, I probably could still run a fire drill in my head on that submarine right now. And it's been 20 years since I've done that. But it taught me a very valuable lesson. You have to prepare for tragedy while times are good. You got to be prepared so that it becomes second nature. I'll give you an example. My wife was cooking. This was a couple of months ago. And I'm in the kitchen and I hear her scream. And I look up from the kitchen table over into the kitchen and I see a big ball of fire coming out of the oven. And immediately she runs to the sink to go grab some water. Something that has the tool to get out of the house. Practice. We've practiced, we've practiced, we've practiced. You've got to do the same. Run your household like a business. Faith, not fear. See, I'm not afraid because I've put in the work to make sure that we have every opportunity that we have to get out of the house in case of a fire. Faith, not fear. Faith, not fear. Faith, not fear. Okay? So I've done the work. Faith without works is dead. So you've got to do the work and prepare yourself. And this is just one example of running your household like a business. Just one example of running your household like a business. Make sure that you teach and train your family. I don't want anything to happen to your family, just like I don't want anything to happen to mine. And if you don't have fire extinguishers in your house, if you don't have a way for people to get out of a second story window in your house, change that today. Go over to Amazon and order some fire extinguishers. Go order some ladders so that you can get out of your home. I would hate to hear about a family that died in a fire only because they didn't have fire extinguishers or they didn't have a way to get out of a two-story building. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you today. Faith, not fear. I don't have any fear of the fire because I put the work in and I told and I've trained my family what to do in case of a fire. And that's the best that we can do. That's the best that we can do. So this is June Collier signing out. God bless. Take care. I hope you found value in this. Go get you some fire extinguishers today.